Welcome to Love and Murder. I'm your host, Char. I'll be joined by host Ky. In this week's episode, it's the case of business, pleasure, murder. A married, jet-setting executive, socialite, and mother chooses the fast life over wife, while her devoted husband patiently awaits. Remember, every dog has their day. Stick around. It's Love and Murder.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Love and Murder. Do you know I'm still not used to saying that? I'm still used to saying no contact radio.
I know. I was gonna fill in for you. I think she means no contact. No contact
Right?
radio.
I am your host, Ky, along with my co-host, Char, the fabulous Char.
Fabulous, guys. Hello. Sorry. Everyone teases
Our
me with
podcast-
that.
Our podcast, Love and Murder, deals with relationships gone terribly wrong. And by terribly wrong, I mean not that they divorced you, not that they just cheated on you and left. No, they killed you.
Yeah.
So this is what our podcast is about. We come every Thursday evening right to your ear holes.
And they didn't block you on social media. They actually didn't just do that. Wouldn't that be easier, Ky, than us having to have this show?
Oh, yeah. I mean, but then, I guess cops wouldn't have a job.
Just block you on social media. Okay.
But tonight's episode is really crazy, so y'all are going to want to just stay till the end.
Guys, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And, just follow us on Stitcher, as I always say, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere where you get your podcasts. Follow us on Love and Murder. Follow us on Facebook. We usually post extra stuff from the cases on our Facebook. So that's facebook.com/relationship crime. And on Instagram, Love Murder Podcast. And if you want to be a producer of our show and hear your name at the end of the show, go ahead and subscribe to us on patreon.com/love and murder. And we'll talk more about that at the end of the show. In the meantime, I know what y'all came here for, so let's get into some love and murder. So take it away, Char.
Okay, so tonight, we are talking about, I don't know how to even begin with this. It was good to me. This was an interesting show. When Ky and I talk about these cases, these episodes, these stories, it's kind of bad that we say that certain stories are juicy or they're good. But this was. I'm sorry. It's like if we don't talk about it, it's gonna be talked about anyway because it's gonna happen whether we cover it or not. It just is. So why not cover the story? Why not bring it to the attention of the world? And our listeners are so loyal, so we appreciate you guys so much. And unfortunately, any, mini, mighty, mo, any one of us this can happen to. Whether you're the victim, unfortunately, or whether you're the family or the murderer. But if you're the murderer, you're probably not listening to our show, right, Ky? I would doubt it.
Well, maybe they have time to listen to our show because they got nothing but time.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what, Ky? In prison, you can listen to podcasts and radio shows. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they have time.
They have nothing but time, and you can even get a law degree. How about that? So anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so tonight's episode, we're talking about a murder that happened in Detroit, Michigan. And one of the main stars of this particular show, her name is Tara. I love that name. Well, it sounds like terror. Like it's terror. Oh my God, that sounds creepy, doesn't it? But her name is Tara Grant. And, that sounds, you don't get a little creepy feeling when you hear the name Tara? It's like I'm saying.
No, didn't you just say you like that name?
No, I do, but it sounds like I'm saying Terror, Terror, like, ooh, that's scary like that. You don't get that feeling at all?
Well, actually, no, I hear Tara when I hear Tara, but actually the funny thing is that was her nickname, Terror.
You are kidding. Now, Ky, do you remember we had, just not even long ago, was it like 3 episodes ago? We had a location of murder, Detroit, Michigan. Do you remember that? The case of
I don't. Who was in Detroit?
Juanita. I mean, oh no, no. What is it, Juanita? My stepdad's friend. That well, his business colleague.
Oh, that was Detroit though.
Yes, absolutely. Because okay, this is so interesting. I'm glad she asked that. So during that case, I did point out the fact that it was a ethnic based, situation. I'll put it like this. Some of the murders in Detroit, because there's so many, the largest population in Detroit is African American. So it just so happens that there's so many people of that descent, and there's so many murders only because of I don't know why there's so many murders, but it just so happened that that's the situation there. So I mentioned that sometimes I felt like those cases weren't being covered. I don't know if you remember that. In this case, it's not that, but hey, you know what? It was just a coincidence. So I was like, okay. But yeah, we just did a case based in Detroit, Michigan. And you know what, Kai? I visited Detroit a few times. I was just sharing this with my stepfather because he asked me about it. I had an ex boyfriend who was a football player, okay, in Detroit, and for the area, he played for the area there. So he was so cool. He was so much fun, and he would fly me in, and we would go to these jazz concerts. We would eat really delicious food, and then sometimes they have like these water ferries and boats, type of tours and things like that. So, he taught me about the culture there, and I said, you know what? I definitely had a stereotype that maybe it was just a forgotten city, but I had a really fun time. So there's a lot to do in Detroit, not to mention Windsor. Canada is right through the tunnel, and there's other places you can go to. There's other parts of Canada that are accessible. So, Kai, did you ever hear that before? You can just visit Canada in a blink when you're in Detroit, Michigan?
I didn't know that, but and I've also never been to Detroit. Detroit is the windy city, right?
Yes,
Um,
it's super because of the water, Lake
yeah,
Michigan.
yeah. I
Yeah,
kind of want to visit it just to see the weather, but other than that, I don't. I
it's
don't feel like there's any reason for me to go
well,
there.
you know what? There is. If you like jazz or you like good food, there's so much to do. So yeah, I actually enjoyed it so much. I really did. So now let's get into Tara Grant. If you can just picture in your head, what is a Tara like? What is she like? Someone that has a name like that. So the life and career and personality of Tara.
Terrors.
I know, but that's what I said. I thought you said that doesn't come to mind. Well, I guess it does. Like, what comes to mind for you?
I don't know. There could be nice terrors. Then there could be terrors.
Did you say terrace? As in, are you serious?
I
Like,
said terras.
oh, I thought you said terrace, like blow up a plane. Okay, let's not go there. That brings me back to no conduct. We won't do that. Oh my gosh, crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. No, that's okay. So Tara, it's a
Okay.
long, long, long inside joke from No Conduct about the terrorist. When she said, I thought she was saying that, but she was saying something else. So,
Okay. Never mind. I get it now. Okay.
yeah,
Continue.
exactly. So Tara Grant was a beautiful small town girl. And a lot of these stories sound like that, but this is the truth. I know they seem so cliche, don't they, Kai? A beautiful small town girl with big city dreams. That's his big city dreams, But that's the truth. That's
Like, but
honestly.
dude, she grew up in Perkins, but Perkins is so. When you say small town,
Mhm.
her town was literally like a traffic light, a bar, and a couple of general stores, and then just
True.
farms.
Very true. Very true. You know
Good
what?
lord.
But honestly, Kai, okay, we should do a poll in this show, but I love small towns. I was raised in a small
No,
town.
no.
So,
I was raised in a small town, and I hated it. And every time we moved, there was another small town. And I always said when I grew up, I was going to live in the city. But then I went to my first city and I was like, oh my God, it's too much. So I live in the suburbs of a city and I prefer that.
that's a
I hate
perfect
small towns.
balance, isn't it? It
Yes, I hate
is.
small towns because they're too far from everything.
I know because it's like, okay, I want to go to Walmart. Well, that's about a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, that's no, no.
And there's a cornfield in between.
Where I live, I don't have to leave my I don't have to leave my little town. But then if I want to do something like cool, then the city is right there. Like it's just right there. So I don't
Like
have to
like
drive far
how?
either. So
Oh, okay. So it's like right. I got it. Wait, how many
yeah.
minutes? How many minutes do you what you
It's like
drive?
30 minutes to the
Oh,
city.
that's not bad. That's not bad. Not at all.
No.
I like small towns. I grew up in a small town called Hernandez, and there was a painting that was. I don't know if you guys have heard of Ansel Adams, but if you go to a doctor's office, you can't miss him. There'll be not a painting. They're actually photography. There's photography on the wall, and he's all over the doctor's offices. I don't know why. So there was a particular piece called "Moonlight over Hernandez," and it's this moon that we would get like once a year, if that. And it was so beautiful. It was so amazing and majestic and like spooky, but amazing. And it was just it only happened that one time a year. So they actually, well, they as in Ansel Adams, created a piece about it. But besides that, another name for my town is Espanola. So same thing. But I loved it. I loved everything about it. We had two traffic lights, not one, but two. So I get it. I really loved it. So now this particular person though,
Well,
Tara
at least
Grant,
you had that second light.
I know. Kai said, "Give me my second light." Like, okay. You know what? The thing to do was to just now. This is again back in the day in the '80s and the early '90s. So because I'm aging myself, and that's okay. But the fun thing to do in this small town was to ride lowrider cars. Remember, I talked about the lowrider magazine a couple of weeks ago,
Oh
Kai?
yeah, you're on the West Coast though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really big deal on the West Coast. It was called Orly's Lowrider, and I told you I was on the cover of one of those particular issues. So the thing is, that's all there is to do is like get dressed up, wear your best lip gloss and your biggest hoop earrings and your tightest shorts, the shortest shorts I should have said, and your highest heels, and you're just going to drive in your car and watch everybody go down the strip. The strip probably what is maybe 2 miles. You know, it's not the Las Vegas strip. So, but it's a fun thing to do. It was just something to do, and it's something that you remember. But the classic cars are basically being displayed like a parade because a lot of the classic cars are being, you know, pimped out there, so to speak. So as far as Tara, though, she did have big city dreams. Now, her friends would describe her as an outgoing perfectionist. There you go. She can't do anything wrong because she's perfect. Hi, do you know anyone like that from high school?
From high school, no, I didn't pay attention to people in high school.
Did you know? What about college? Anyone like that from college?
College at the same time. Again, I was horrible when I was younger. I didn't care about people, so I didn't pay attention to people. I had my own shit going on.
Okay.
But adult life, yes, I
Okay.
definitely know these. I know people like that. But at the same time, again, once you start acting like that, I just cut you off because I don't have time for BS. So
Wait a minute. Let's back up, if we will. To be a perfectionist and to be outgoing doesn't mean there's a personality flaw, Kai.
you said she can do no wrong. If somebody acts like they can't do any wrong, I don't have patience with that because everybody does wrong. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
And if you're wrong and then you're trying to tell me that you're not wrong, I don't have patience for that. But no, if you were a perfectionist and you're outgoing, then that doesn't bother me. Maybe the outgoing part bothers me because I'm more of an introvert,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't stop being friends with you for that. No.
So in that case, let me ask you this, because you know I'm sure all day. How would you describe a perfectionist, Miss Kai?
I mean, type A personality, which is exactly what they say she was.
Mm-hmm.
She's a type A personality. She has to do everything right. Her house has to look clean, and everything has to be
In
just
order.
totally
Mm-hmm.
yes. So that's a type A.
Okay,
That's a
I
perfectionist.
totally agree with that.
Uh, my stepdad is a perfectionist. I know a lot of people like that.
Me too. I do. I don't know why people would peg me that way, but I had two people tell me that in the last year. Oh yeah, because you're a perfectionist.
I think probably in the way you cook and stuff, you would be a perfectionist in that area, but that's about it.
I agree. I agree because outside of that, you can forget it. I'm not. I promise. It's only when I'm cooking. Kai, one